Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a really powerful section of ancient prophecy, Zechariah 14, verses 1 through 8.
Right. And this passage, it paints this incredibly vivid picture of what's called the Day of the Lord.
It's intense stuff. Judgment, conflict, but also, surprisingly, restoration seems to be woven in there, too.
Exactly. The sources we looked at really stress that. Yeah, it's a day of, well, serious trouble, even for believers, perhaps. But the ultimate promise is victory, God's victory.
Okay, let's get into the scene it sets up. Verse 2 is pretty grim. It talks about all nations gathering against Jerusalem.
Yeah, for battle. And it's not symbolic. The city is actually partially overrun, houses looted, horrific violence mentioned, women assaulted.
And half the population dragged off into exile. It sounds like absolute rock bottom.
It really does. It shows human conflict at its worst, like total failure. But then right there, the Lord intervenes.
And not by sending an army, right? The text says he himself goes out.
Personally, yes. The Lord will go out and fight against those nations is when he fights on a day of battle. It's direct. It's decisive.
Okay, so he fights. But then there's this really specific, kind of strange detail about the Mount of Olives.
Ah, yes. The geological drama. It says, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of the city.
And then what? It just splits.
It splits right down the middle, east to west, creating this huge valley with half the mountain moving north, the other half south. It's a massive physical reshaping of the land.
Wow. Okay, so why? Is it just a show of power, or is there a purpose to this mountain splitting?
There's definitely a purpose. It creates an escape route. The text says people will flee through this new valley, this valley of my mountains.
And it even connects it to a historical event. Something about an earthquake.
Yeah, it mentions people fleeing like they fled from the earthquake in King Uzziah's time.
Yep.
So it's drawing on this memory of God providing escape even amidst, geological terror.
Okay, that makes sense. And the weirdness doesn't stop there, does it? The atmosphere itself changes.
Right. The conditions are unique. It says there won't be light, no cold, no frost. It's described as a unique day, not really night.
But then light appears.
Yeah.
But only in the evening.
Exactly. Light at evening time. It's like the normal rules of nature are suspended. It underlines that God is completely in control, overriding the natural order. He dictates reality on this day.
So you have this intense battle, the earth literally breaking apart, strange light. It sounds terrifying. How does this become salvation?
Well, that's the paradox, isn't it? The sources really hammer this home. For the nations fighting against God, it is judgment. But for God's people, the same event becomes their rescue, their salvation.
The judgment itself clears the way for restoration.
Precisely. Once the conflict is settled by God's intervention, the focus shifts entirely to renewal. It says, the Lord alone will be king over the whole earth. And then healing starts.
With water, right? Living waters.
Living waters flowing out from Jerusalem, half towards the eastern sea, which is the Dead Sea, and half towards the western sea, the Mediterranean.
So reaching across the whole land, essentially.
Symbolizing complete renewal, yes. And crucially, it says these waters flow continuously in summer and winter.
Okay, so not just a seasonal flood, it's constant.
Constant, perennial life and sustenance, guaranteed by God no matter the season or circumstance. It's stability born from chaos.
So the journey is from this brink of destruction, battle, and upheaval
to guaranteed divine victory and this image of perpetual life-giving flow. The judgment leads directly into restoration.
It's quite a shift. So, wrapping this up, what's the final thought the sources leave us with? How should we think about this today?
Well, the question it sort of poses to you listening now is this. If you know that ultimate victory is assured, that God can literally split mountains to make a way, how does that change how you face your battles, your challenges right now? How do you live with that confidence today?